everyone, today we have a new Nerf review, and that is going to be on the new Nerf N-Strike Elite Firestrike, and we're going to do a quick unboxing, a review. I'm going to compare it to the variable Night Finder, and then we're going to do an indoor firing test. So let's go ahead and jump right in, and we're going to unbox it. The box is very bright and vibrant like always. They're advertising the 75-foot distance with that. It says it's got the light beam, which is up here, and it is advertising the strife on the back, which is interesting. And it comes with, let's see, it comes with 3 darts, the instruction booklet's back there, and the Firestrike. It does not come with batteries. So now we're just going to unclip it from its box real quick. I got my clippers right here, and take it out right quick. They're using some paper sort of clips now rather than their old plastic metal twist ties. Okay, blaster's smaller than I thought it would. It's got this weird little jut here on the bottom. Feels pretty good in the hand. And let's pull out these darts real quick. They're just 3 of the standard Elite darts. Put the instruction booklet over to the side. Oh, one of those rolled away from me. Alright, so it's got, looks like 2 dart holders up front. Pretty nice snug fit on the Elite darts. Let me grab that one over real quick. And so it holds 2, and then 1 in the chamber. I think it might have the new style AR in it, but I'm going to just go ahead and fiddle around with this. I'm going to put some batteries in it real quick. It takes 2 AAAs so that I can use the little light trigger, which is down here on the bottom. And I believe the batteries slot in down here just like the Night Finder did. So now I'm going to slot some batteries in it, and then we'll sit down and we'll actually talk about this. Alright guys, the Firestrike seems to be a very well built blaster, as Nerf blasters usually are. It's very sturdy all the way around, no creaking really per se, and it does still have a light up front right here. And a cool thing I really like about it is if you pull this little trigger here, you can see the actual red light through the side, which is pretty cool, and I'll actually turn off the lights and show you guys that later. But the front is not adjustable like it is on the Night Finders. You see how you can adjust it everywhere. This is a fixed point. Other than that, this little indentation down here is actually pretty nice for somebody with bigger hands, but it kind of cuts the handle up a little bit, makes it look a little odd. It is quite a bit smaller than a Night Finder comparatively. The dart holders are closed up much tighter, and the handle is actually, I don't know if you guys can see this, it is quite a bit shorter. So some of the people with very large hands, I mean my hands are fairly large, and it's just barely fitting on here. But you can see you've got another inch of handle on a Night Finder. Other than that, we'll turn off the lights, and I'll show you guys the light here, and let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, here is the light from about 5 feet away from the wall. As you can see, it's just a little dot and cross, or just a little circle with a dot in the middle. When I back up a little further, I'm going to go ahead and back up to about 8 or 10 feet away. You can see it expands a little more. My hands are kind of shaky, but it's still very visible. Not in fully bright inside of room light, but see, as I get closer, it tightens up quite a bit, and you can see the sides light up much better in the dark here. So if you really want to be able to use the light, which I don't really think it's very useful at all, you can, but it has to be in kind of a dim room. So I'm going to go ahead and fire a shot from about 5 feet away with the light, and I'm going to show you guys how it is. I'm aiming down a little bit to keep it in the camera view, so here's one shot. So as you see, it aims a little bit above the light. So I guess that's to account for drop, but now we're just going to go and we're going to look at some other features of this blaster. Alright guys, now we're just going to discuss a few more small things about this blaster. One of the things I really like about it is the trigger up front is a little bit wider. It's about a 1/4 inch wide up front, so it gives you a very comfortable trigger pull. The draw seems pretty short, so I'm going to grab a Night Finder I'm going to compare it to. This Night Finder draws that much, so let's just go take a look. The Night Finder has about, let's see, looks like, let's see. Okay, so they do stick out the same. The Night Finder, I believe, has about 1/4 inch to 3/8 more draw. I'm not totally sure on the Plunger Tube size, but we will look at that in the end, and I'll show you guys internals and everything. Overall, pretty comfortable little blaster, very compact, fairly powerful for its size. I mean, it shoots pretty well, makes a nice little pop whenever you shoot it, and it's hitting my door with some force. I'd imagine it's hitting about the 45-50 foot mark flat, like all the other Elite blasters are doing. And let's go ahead and shoot another at the door. And I mean, it's fairly accurate with the Elite darts. It actually shoots very well for what I was expecting. Now, does have a tactical rail. I mean, if you wanted to put some goofy sight on top of it, like a long shot scope or something. But I like it how it is. It's very small, very compact. It will not fit in holsters because it's got the big bottom part. You'd have to minimize it down. I really, really like the little light up part down below. It really makes me happy to see it. It takes 2 AAAs, which makes it, I mean, this blaster's fairly heavy compared to this one. This one's probably, let's see, probably about 2/3 the weight of a night finder, and quite a bit shorter and smaller. I believe the plunger tube is about the same size as a regular Elite plunger tube, but again, we'll figure that out at the end. So I guess let's go ahead and break it down. I'm going to show you guys the internals, and we'll check and see what's all on the inside. Alright guys, now we here have a side-by-side comparison of the night finder and the Firestrike, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Firestrike real quick. It looks a lot more complicated on the inside than the standard night finder, and that's just because of this AR system and these little rods here. Now this catch has a weird little nub for the trigger to connect to it, so when we mod it, we might want to watch out for it breaking right there. Other than that, it's got a standard, looks like, little lever that lifts up on a button. That's what turns on and off your LED up front. I believe it's got a new style AR in it, and the plunger tube is actually a little bit wider than a night finder, but it seems like it's also a little bit shorter. So I believe the extra volume in width might make up for the volume in how long this is, and that's why it's got a shorter draw, I would believe. Let's see, let me pull out the spring real quick. Let me pull this whole assembly out real quick. As you can see, the internals are actually in the right side of the shell, which is a little bit odd. It's got a weird little sled here. Let me figure out how to get it out of here. Internals are quite a bit more complicated than a night finder, it would appear. Alright, we got the laser disconnected, and it's got these weird little connections up here. I guess those are just cosmetic. Okay, got that off. Let's take a look at the plunger head. Plunger head is actually very, very cool. It's got this little rubber padding up front. I haven't seen something pre-padded from Nerf, I don't believe, ever. So these are little rubber flaps, I guess, for padding. The plunger head is definitely larger in diameter, and it's fastened on in an interesting way. It looks like it's just snapped on almost. The spring is, look, it's itty-bitty, teeny-tiny. Might be a little bit stronger, but it's pretty wimpy. The catch is a little bit weird. But the catch is it's raised up, so it's not standard night finder. There's a look. The handles are a bit different, as you see here. This one's a more triangular design. So let's put that off to the side, and we'll get a look at the plunger tube. So as you see, a little bit wider. Looks almost like a long shot style AR down in there. But I believe it's probably a new Elite styled air restrictor. See if I can pop any of this off. Actually, I might be able to, but I'm not going to in this video. That'll be for a mod guide that I'll do on it later. It's got the standard dart peg. Let's take a look at the rest. The shell is pretty small. It's got 7 screws. I believe they're all the same length. The little lever trigger on this is pretty interesting. There's your tactical rail attachment. Let's take that out so we don't lose it. The shell is actually 2 pieces. The handle is actually snapped into the main shell. So that might mean we can, take this shell off, this handle off, and put it on other things. So there is a full breakdown as far as I really want to go with it. It's got an odd little cosmetic piece here, and this is the front barrel. So as you see, knife finder is very, very simple. This is a little more complicated, but the plunger tube is actually pretty big. I'm pretty impressed. Let's compare it side by side if I can. Let me grab a spare plunger tube real quick. Alright, so here is the Firestrike plunger tube, and here's the night finder plunger tube. The night finder plunger tube can almost fit inside of the Firestrike. There it is side by side, so you are losing some length on it, obviously. But the width is very interesting. So guys, I believe that's it for the internals, and we're just going to step back for my final thoughts on it. Alright guys, after a little bit more fiddling, I was able to snap off this front bit here, and we can get directly into the AR. There's just your barrel there. And this whole assembly lifts right out. Got your little dart pusher right there. Let's see if I can pry this out of here real quick. Let me grab a pair of pliers. Alright guys, well it looks like these parts may be glued together, or I just can't get a grip on them and I don't want to ruin this blaster right now. But the AR spring seems very, very weak, which might contribute to how powerful it is, but it seems like it might be a standard AR rather than the new Elite styled, which is actually pretty cool. You see you got a little flap back there. I believe the plunger head might impact this plat right here, and that just keeps them both safe. So there's a full breakdown actually, and we actually finally got the plunger tube free. The plunger tube has this little lip up front. There's also a lip down here on the inside right in here. The plunger tube is almost a translucent, you can see my finger inside of there. But very smooth bore, very interesting. So now we're going to step back to my final thoughts, actually this time. So all in all guys, I really like the little Elite Firestrike. It's a very nice small little blaster. I don't know if I'm going to quite like it as much as I like the Night Finder, just because I love Night Finders. But it shoots very well, does about 50 feet flat stock. The Elite darts are fairly accurate. They're not, I mean, at close range, any further than that, they'll start going loopy like Streamlines will. But makes a nice little pop when it fires. I think it's got a pretty efficient air restrictor in it. The spring's pretty wimpy, so there might be some improvement that we can do. But overall, guys, cool little blaster. Really liking the little size that light up right here. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I should have some more videos for you guys very soon. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will talk to you later. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below, and I'll try to answer them the best I can.